Identity with Tayanika. Here we have conversations about experiences that have shaped who we are. I've got another amazing guest with me today. This woman is phenomenal. Her name is Dr. Karen Johnson. She's had a career from being a commercial model to a career in fashion to empowering women with the various things that she's done. She's also the author of Out of the Corner, an autobiography. Welcome, Dr. Karen.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm glad that you accepted my invite to have this conversation.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a wonderful experience being on a podcast with you this morning. I mean, anything for empowerment, we're all about that, aren't we?
Yes. So we'll start off with getting to know you a little bit, because I know who you are now, but I'm sure there's experiences in your past, as in like growing up, your childhood, there must be experiences that you feel like really defined who you are, both positive and negative. Is there anything you want to share with us today?
I was born in Liverpool.
Yes.
I'm 57 years of age.
Wow, you look amazing.
Thank you. I was born in Anfield, by Liverpool Football Ground, and my mum and dad were married at a very young age. My mum and dad met when they were 10 years of age. When my dad come back from Italy, my mum set eyes on him in the street, and that was that. They were married at 17.
Nice.
I mean, that is a love story, an absolute love story. And I always admire. They stayed. Well, my dad died, passed away 9 years ago now, but they've stayed together
the whole time.
50 years.
Wow.
And yeah, it's an inspirational story. So their inspiration sort of followed on for me. My dad was my best friend, my mum was my best friend, and I got so much inspiration from them. I started modelling at the age of 13.
Wow. Were you scouted?
No, it started with my mum.
Okay.
My mum entered me into a competition for Miss 156 Regiment. They were looking for a pin-up, not in that way, in a pin-up for a goodbye present to the army, 156 Regiment, because one of the big I don't know what they are, sergeants were leaving, and he wanted to leave something special for his regiment. So there was in the Liverpool Echo, it was, my mum read it and sent off my pictures without me knowing. And I was only 16 at the time. And anyway, I won it. And I couldn't get over it. I'd won this competition.
Yeah.
Anyway, I represented 2,000 men. 2,000 men.
Wow.
And I had to go to Mather Avenue to get all my pictures taken. And it was just me in the combat gear and with all the lads and everything like that. And it was the best time ever I've experienced. And then I got invited to Grantham, where they did all the activities when they're training. And I went there and they welcomed me, but I should have just stayed at the side and looked basically pretty, just watching in on them, and I never. So as soon as the sergeant turned his back, I was straight in there, over the rope. Oops.
Do you still have photos?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, brilliant.
I have. And you know what, when I look back on those, I look so young. I had a dog mascot. He was with me all the time. I had a bodyguard as well. This lovely lady was looking after me everywhere I went. Anyway, that was the start.
Yes.
I don't want to go too much on that. That was the start of my buzz. And I thought, I want to do modelling now. I went to so many agencies in Liverpool, and they all said to me, because my dad was Italian, I had this Italian nose. And he said to me, no, you'll never make a model with that big nose. They were straight to the point, because I had a bump. But it was my character. And I was really, I was disheartened. And my dad said, no, you're not going through that again. You're not going through that again. Because I said, no, I want a nose. I want to get my nose done. And he went, no, you're not. Your character. Anyway, I made it without them.
Wow. So you must have been thick-skinned.
Well, it was hard for
Yeah,
someone
because
16 to
back
get
then,
told, no, you're too ugly with your nose being too big.
I
It's
always
harsh.
say back then they were very much about the stats and that was it. If you don't fit that, then, and they were never too shy to tell you.
You had to be stick thin,
Yeah.
which gave me, and it was start of anorexia and bulimia, because I had to keep thin. It was when I look back, it was a terrible industry to be in.
It was.
And when you look
I
at it
tried
now,
it at 19, so I can relate to what you're saying.
and the bullying. Oh, so anyway, I did beauty competitions as well. I threw myself in that bit, which was not for me because the girls were so not nice.
Competitive. No,
I don't want to say the word on camera.
Okay.
Begins with a B.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not nice.
No.
And they go out to destroy because they want to win.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like that. I've never been like that. But all my life, I've seemed to have hate upon me. But I'll go in that in later on. Mm-hmm. I'm all for women. And I've been.
I know.
And I've been all my life. And if you're pretty and if I'm out somewhere, I'll tell you, you look beautiful. And I get weird looks, but I don't care. Leading on to that,
Yeah.
I, like I said, then I went to the catwalk. I know it was only small, but I still did it. And I enjoyed that. Fashion shows and stuff like that. I just done many events as well, promotions, car launches, things like that. Lots and lots of promotions. And what I really decided I wanted to do was to be an air stewardess. So I needed a lot of public related jobs to go on to be what I wanted to do. I did eventually do that. I got a job for Gulf Air in the Middle East, and that's where I went to live and passed my wings in Bahrain.
Wow.
Yeah, and I flew with Gulf Air. It was really hard. Saying goodbye to my family who I love dearly.
Yeah.
My dad was so protective over me.
And what age would that have been?
Gosh, I'm going back now. 22, 23.
Wow.
Could be 24. And I made it. I mean, I'm one of these girls, when I study, it doesn't go in. I've got to study. Highlight, study. And all the girls I was there with were partying hard. And I'm like, why can't I do that? But I mean, because I wanted to pass, and I knew if I didn't, if I went out partying, there's no way I would have passed that. You had a manual that thick, and what you had to know everything in that. Anyway, after a long haul of that, I did it, and I got my wings. Oh, nice. And my mum and dad met me at Heathrow when I was coming through, and I had a little yash mark, goes across your face like that. It was such a beautiful uniform. I felt very proud. I felt even more prouder when I see my mum and dad waiting at the airport. My dad cried.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've always done things that I've achieved everything that I've wanted to achieve,
That's
which
good.
I'm so grateful for.
Yeah.
But that's because you've got to have self-drive, self-love, self-worth, self-respect, everything. Because on this journey of life, you get people who knock you down along the way.
Oh, roughly how old do you think you would have been about that time?
In my early 20s, I would say, early 20s. But from there, because I came back from Gulf, because the Gulf War broke out when I was at home on leave. And it was nowhere near where I was.
Yeah.
But my dad said, no, you're not going back. So I resigned from home. And then I joined Air 2000 straight away.
Yeah.
And I did the other side of the world, it was from Manchester, which was really brilliant. And at this one trip, I went to Africa, Mombasa.
Oh, nice.
Which I loved. And because I did long haul, when the passengers got off, I stayed for a week with the crew. And that's where I met my abuser.
And that would have been your ex-husband?
Yes, the abuser.
Was he On holiday or?
Yes, he was on a safari holiday.
Oh, okay.
And we were in a nightclub in the Bora Bora.
Oh, okay.
And there was a power cut. And we all got issued candles. Because it was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was desperate for the toilet. And I said to my number one, you come with me to the toilet. So we're going through with all these candles.
Yeah.
And this arm dragged me through, dragged me. And I really thought, oh God, someone's running off with me. And it was this 6 foot tall, white Scottish guy. And he went, I can't do the Scottish accent because it goes right through me anyway. He said, can I escort you to the toilet? I went, I wasn't expecting this. I went, yeah, okay. That was it then. He met the crew. He took me on dates outside of the zone of crew because we weren't allowed to go explore. And he asked the permission with the captain because he'd take me to places which I seen the other side of Mombasa, which I really wanted to see with his permission. Cut a long story short, I married him. He was amazing when I first met him. Everything I'm looking for, everything that I wanted. In fact, I wasn't even looking for anyone because I was very career-minded. And yes, he'd stole my heart. But he just didn't steal my heart over time. He literally broke it. He broke my mind. And he broke my body. Over the 7 years of marriage, I had 2 incredible, gorgeous boys from that marriage who I'm in awe of.
Your children are stunning.
Nothing like him. Nothing. They might have his characteristics, but they're nothing like him. Because he was a bully, a nasty, evil, horrible bully who tortured me, my mind. He ruined the character of me, of modelling and doing everything and loving life. I became a shell of my own self. I was nothing.
So in those 7 years, did you completely stop working, or were you able to still carry on with your career, or did you try and find something else to do?
No. I wasn't allowed to. Basically, these type of people, they like you being at home. They isolate you away. My confidence had gone. My self-worth had gone. My self-love had gone. Everything was broken down over the years because it was through mental torture. And because I was broken down, he isolated me as well. He took me to Scotland where he lived, took me away from family, took me away from friends. I had nobody and nothing. And then I fell pregnant with twins and I lost them through domestic abuse. And then I had my eldest boy, like a year after. And he saved me. But the violence still carried on when I was pregnant, even worse. Because I'm not one to sit back. I've got a mouth. And I always led to believe maybe I'm the perpetrator because I didn't sit back. Did I deserve it? Because I always got told I deserved it. If you didn't shut your mouth, you wouldn't get what you would get. You wouldn't guess what you got. So I believed, well, maybe it's me. So they make you believe that you deserve what you got. But I did not deserve anything what I got.
Just messing with the mind, isn't it? It's all a
mental
mind
abuse is worse than physical. I got bruises heal. Bruises go away, the mental stays. And here I'm sitting today after many, many, many years of being divorced, thankfully, when I escaped with my boys. I've got fibromyalgia, which is caused from trauma. And it was from a severe kick in the spine, which I suffer badly today with. But I always said, and I always will say, and whoever knows me and knows about my story and read my book and my autobiography, they know that this won't overtake me. I'm too strong-minded.
You really are.
Even though I'm in bed, I could be in bed 4 times a week, I will still work. I will still support victims and survivors, men and women, boys and girls, LGBTQ, anybody out there, I will help and do my utter best to get them out of that situation and give them the confidence back that they need.
At what point would you say was kind of the turnaround point from you having to deal with your own trauma and everything else that was a result of this abusive marriage? Like, I can imagine it was like over years.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And you'd always think, because he always said to me, I'm going to make the boy, well, he didn't want my youngest boy. But my eldest boy, he did. Because my youngest boy looked so much like me, he hated him for it. Because he looked the image of me, and whereas my eldest boy's the image of him. And he always said that he would break my eldest son's mind the same as mine if I left him. But the abuse started on him. Like locking him in cupboards and making me watch. No, I would rather get hiding. There's no one going to do that to my children. No one's going to do that to my children. And I went, the abuse got that bad, and I understand why women go to prison. Because they do mentally break you to the point that you could do something serious. And I was at that point. Either he was going to kill me or I was going to kill him. And I know this might sound really bad, but I was to the breaking point that he was making me go literally crazy. And I knew then, I've got to do something about this because he's going to kill me.
How did you get away?
I planned for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the TA and he used to go away. That was the army boots, by the way. That was the kick. He had army boots on with the steel cap. That gave me the kick at the bottom of my spine. And he went away for the weekend. And that was my perfect opportunity. I'd already got a house not far from my mum, a 2-bedroom in a lovely area, and rented it. And so I could pack up just what I wanted of the kids.
Yeah.
Get the van and get into there, all in that weekend.
Wow.
Even today I get a bit, thinking about it because he could have come home at any time. And he was due home on the Sunday and the van come Sunday morning.
Wow.
And that because they couldn't get her on the Saturday. So I got everything flung in and panic. It was, and I got to this safe house. And in my room, I give the boys a big room, and I had a box room. My feet used to be up on the wall.
Oh.
I did not care.
Yes.
I was free as a bird.
And how do you remember your children dealing with it at the time? Were
My
they
son was
aware?
bad.
Were they aware of?
My youngest boy was only 18 months old, and he had nothing to do with him. He did some things to him when he was at work that I didn't think was happening at the time, but he did. Like cigarette burns and stuff like that. And said he'd walked into me with a cigarette and he'd crawled out the door and up the street and a neighbour brought him back. Things like that. He was neglecting. But my eldest boy, he had 5 years of love. I loved him. And when we left, he seen my son for 1 hour. Because I allowed him to see them.
Yeah.
As long as he didn't mess with the heads. The first hour, he gave him a wedding picture with my head cut off, a bottle of aftershave, and he went, "That's all you've got of me," and took him to a hostel where he was supposed to be staying and said, "This is where your mum's put me." He was 5. So my eldest boy was eating his jumpers and chewing his nails, and he was horrible to me because poor boy was traumatised, and that was it then. I ended it. No way you're going to, no way, you had your chance, you're not going to do it again. And that's when I stopped all contact. And then he did try, but I was looking over my shoulder for a very long time. So I decided, my mum and dad went to Spain, like a couple of months and come back. And then I decided to go. and move and take the boys with me. And the best thing I ever did.
Wow.
Because they're fluent Spanish. And my eldest boy's a doctor of linguistics.
Wow. Amazing.
And my youngest boy is now training to be captain of luxury yachts. There's so much to say. But I can't, obviously time is rolling on.
Yes.
But the most fundamental thing about this is, your viewers, I want them to realise, please, please never stay, ever. You're not alone. And I am just a message away if you need help.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to move on to like your current path, but hopefully by the end of the conversation, we've kind of gone full circle. So what are you currently doing now? Because I know there's a lot in between as well.
Yeah, what I'm doing now is, because of this fibromyalgia, I'm only restricted to what I can do.
Yeah.
And I've got to monitor my time. Mm-hmm. But I'm in schools, three mornings a week, and I go in, and I've got groups of girls and I've got groups of boys, year 9 and year 10.
Oh, good.
And I'm it's protection, prevention on domestic abuse, bullying, social media, sexual exploitation, self-love, self-worth, everything. All that kids need now, this day and age.
That is...
And tactics of the bully to stop them going into that relationship, to avoid that in their future.
That's amazing. It's very well needed, especially with the era that they're living in now with social media and the keyboard warriors. And it's just a lot.
It is. And the suicide rate.
I know. I was watching something on Netflix the other day. I think it was called Social Experiment or something. And it was just like some of these things you take for granted and you don't really think about it, because I've got 2 young children as well that are on these platforms like YouTube and Snapchat and looking at stuff.
You've got to be very
and it's
careful.
like, it was really an eye-opener.
Do you monitor their phones, obviously?
Yes, we do. Yeah. We do.
But I advise every parent to look at their phone and make sure that certain things are blocked on it, because they still get through.
We'll keep an eye on the block stuff. We'll keep an eye.
What these children, and they are children, say to me in these groups has really opened my eyes, and they've educated me.
Oh, good.
They've
At least they
educated
trust
me.
you to tell you.
And this is the most empowering things about these These groups, they break silence. Something that they've never done before.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of all of them.
Yeah.
And whoever stays in that room, sat in that room, stays in that room.
Oh, good, good.
And we built up respect. 6 weeks course, you see. And over them 6 weeks, we gel.
Amazing.
And it's a wonderful experience. I'm so happy to be
Have you ever stopped back to think, like when you look at your journey as a whole, have you ever had a moment where you think, I'm really proud of this that I've achieved? Is there anything? Because I can look at your journey and I can pick out things that I think are great achievements. But for you, from your own perception, is there anything you think, wow, this was a good achievement, this was a great achievement?
Yeah. What I do now. What I do now. Because I believe if I hadn't gone through all that abuse, I wouldn't be sitting here today. So I feel like I've been put on this earth to go through it to help others. And I'm so proud of myself for that. But I'm also so proud of myself to not being in a wheelchair. And I won't. And I'm still going to wear heels as much as I can.
Love it. You're so strong, and I admire that about you.
No one's going to take them from me. All this ever again.
Wow.
And what I want to say also to your viewers is, you have only got one life. We've only got one life. We've got to make the most of it.
Yes.
There's no need for bitterness and to be no hatred, or we're all together.
Yes.
Aren't we?
Do you know one thing I learned during lockdown was letting go. I let go of a lot of baggage that I didn't realize I was holding on to.
That's good.
And yeah, it definitely made me a better person.
Well, lockdown for me was harsh because I was helping so many victims that were
yes. There was a
locked
big
in with
spike,
them.
wasn't it?
Yeah. And I was on the phone a lot, helping these women and men.
Yes.
Not just women.
Yeah, it is men as well.
Men as well. And that was a harsh time for me. because I did my utter best to help these people that were stuck with the perpetrator, which must have been horrific.
Well, that to me is an achievement.
Thank you.
So well done.
Thank you.
What's next?
What is next?
Or are you carrying on the current path?
I'm carrying on.
Good. Brilliant. Okay, to sum it all up, I'm going to get to have a bit of fun.
Yes.
Because what we're doing now is fashion related. I don't want to say it's my best bit because I feel like exploring your identity is what you're here for. And thank you so much that you've been able to kind of give us a glimpse of who you are and what's made you into the person that you are. So, my first fun question for you, Karen. Is there anything unusual or something that you've got, something sentimental that you carry around in your handbag or always on you?
Always on me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got this necklace.
Okay.
That's very sentimental.
Oh, lovely.
It's 3 hearts.
Uh-huh.
And it's got my kids' names engraved on it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
They're with me all the time.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's my personal thing that I carry with me all the time.
Oh.
So they're with me for all the time, on me, every day.
Oh, nice. And is there any item of clothing that you feel like you've got like an...
I'm seeing my wardrobe.
emotional attachment to?
You know what there is? I've got a Prada bag.
Oh, nice.
I've got a daughter at 19.
Is that the...
And
beautiful.
she's absolutely stunning. Yeah, she's
She
beautiful.
is
She's
gorgeous.
Beautiful. And her dad passed away 5 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we haven't got time to talk about that. He was my best friend. We weren't together in the end, but he was my best friend. And he bought me a Prada bag. And I will never part with that Prada bag.
Oh, that's nice.
I love it. It was all, I've got a display of bags in my bedroom in a glass case.
Yes.
And he's in there proud. That's in there pride.
Oh.
Pride.
Oh, well, coming from a modelling and fashion background, I'd love to know your definition of fashion.
I love fashion. I love fashion. And your clothes lady.
Oh, thank you.
You are incredible. What you wear and what your fashion is all about.
Thank you.
And you are very colourful.
Yes.
Vibrant.
My mind is colourful.
But you put that into your fashion and it shows, and that in itself is inspirational.
Thank you.
Because people who wear that feel colour, feel alive, and that's what you've brought into that fashion.
Do you know, when I make a garment or anything, I always want somebody to feel good wearing it. So I'm glad you can kind of see that.
Well, that's all about what we feel. It's the whole point in fashion.
Yes.
Feeling good in it. I love fashion.
Oh,
I mean, I
good.
still at 57 try to be as trendy as
Do you know
I can.
what? Age has nothing to
It
do
doesn't.
with it.
It's not.
Yeah.
If you can carry it off,
yes.
go for it.
Yeah.
I can't wear mini skirts no more, or skirts to
I
there.
know, right?
But no, you know, if I can carry away with, I love hats.
Yes.
Trilbies and nice fashion hats.
I've seen you. I've seen a picture of you in some hats. They suit you as well.
Yeah, I love hats for winter.
Yeah.
I'm very sophisticated, come casual. That's me.
Nice. I
like that.
Well, you always carry a sophisticated look anyway.
Thank you.
So I can see why you love sophistication.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Thank you.
So, is there anything that you particularly love shopping for? What I've got from you already was that your definition of fashion is love.
Yes, yeah.
So what do you love shopping for?
Bags,
Boots.
shoes,
Yes.
clothes, coats.
I hate to say that I am the same.
I thought you too much.
You got to love fashion.
Yes, but you know what? Can I also say? Charity shops.
I shop everywhere. Literally.
Oh, amazing.
I shop everywhere. I love vintage. I love recycling, remaking, upcycling. I love new and I love old.
Yes.
And I like putting it all together.
Vintage to new.
Yes.
I love that too.
Yeah. Is there anything you hate shopping for?
Food.
That is me.
It bores me. I hate it. And I've got a footy daughter.
Do you know what? Let me make a confession. I'm the type of person that goes food shopping, sits in the car park, and I'm like, okay, just 5 minutes on my phone. Before I know it, I'm in the car sitting for half an hour, and then I'm like, okay, right tire, just get out, just go. Yeah, that's how much I hate food shopping.
And when I go in the shop, I can't think what I came in for because I'm not bored.
Literally, I write a list just so I can get in there and get out.
Oh, I hate it.
Literally.
No.
Yeah, so that's
Food,
two of
no.
us. Two of us.
Bags, yes.
And last but not least, have you got any fashion-related question for me?
Okay. So, what's your next inspiration?
Wow. Do you know what? So generally, when I look at my whole aesthetic and everything that I love about fashion, I'm inspired by art, by history, by my heritage, as you can see in the prints. And I like royal fashion. So that's usually always like when you...
Combined.
Yeah, it's a combination of all that. But the collection I'm working on at the moment, which I already brought one piece out that I wore to the polo, which went viral, a yellow dress.
Oh,
So,
I love that.
Yes, so that is part of a collection which I originally called Rebirth, but sometimes the name changes at the end once I've put it all together. And the reason
So
why...
it's all based on that colour?
No, it's more based on a butterfly.
Oh,
So,
freedom.
so it goes from caterpillar to...
That's freedom.
You see, so it might change. I mean, it might end up being called Freedom by the time I'm done with it. But it was basically based on the fact that I feel like I've grown and it's just showing the process. So if you look at that yellow dress, it's got those...
Levels.
Yeah, and that it almost reminds me of a caterpillar and
that's
coming out and
beautiful.
that rebirth into a butterfly.
That's beautiful.
So that's what I'm basing my next collection on.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
So yeah, it's just... I feel like I've kind of gone...
And your next fashion show, I'm coming.
It's in October,
Ooh.
I think. I'll give you more information
do.
about that. Yes.
I
So,
look forward. I'll be number one there.
oh, brilliant. I do remember the first time we
Yes.
met was at Liverpool Fashion Week.
It was.
Yes.
It was.
So, yeah.
That was a long time ago.
I know. That was 2015 or 16. Yes.
And look where we are today.
I know.
You've got your podcast.
Yes.
So
And
well done, lady.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you. And yeah, no, I remember that. That was a long time ago. That was the start of my journey. But even though I'd already been studying fashion, but that was the start of me creating my own brands. So yeah,
You've
thank
done
you
incredible
so
work.
much for agreeing to be my guest today and having this conversation.
Thank you for having
And
me.
I know that you would have inspired a few people out there with your story. And I hope you can, if you haven't already read Karen's book, please go out there and buy it and read it. Actually, where can people find you?
Well, because it came out in 2014.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's no longer available now.
Okay. Where can they
get
follow
it on
you?
Kindle, I think. On
Kindle.
Amazon.
Okay. All right. Amazon.
Out of the Corner,
Yeah.
second revised edition, Dr. Karen Johnson.
And where can people connect with you socially?
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Out of the Corner. If you Google my name, I'll pop up.
Out of
I'm
the
there
corner.
for you if you need me. Anybody out there, I'm there for you.
Oh, thank you so much for listening and watching this episode. I just want to give a big thank you to my guest, Karen Johnson. Do follow her. And I would also really appreciate if you like this podcast, share it, comment, tell us what you think, and just share it with as many people as possible. This is the Explore Your Identity conversation. I am Taya Hughes, your host, and hopefully you can join me for the next episode. And until then, together we can take on the world. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Explore your identity with Taya Hughes.